country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Verdikthub.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Every winter, the World Economic Forum at Davos becomes the world's thinking room, where power, policy and purpose converge, where the future is examined and reimagined. In January 2026, NDTV will be at the heart of this conversation. NDTV Ignite at Davos, this January on the NDTV network.
Mumbai are bringing our first India tour in your city. Rag on with Shankar Ehsan Loy and Siddharth Mahadevan and Shivam Mahadevan. 5 times melody, 5 times masti with NDTV Good Times. Go grab your tickets on Live Your City by Fever.
It is Asia's richest civic body. 2026 begins with Big Bang BMC poll. High stakes Mumbai battle loading. Can BJP extend Maha winning streak? Existential fight for the Sena. Can the Congress strike a comeback? Maha civic body, massive implications. NDTV tracks the Maha build-up, battleground BMC.
Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Golf Pro-Am, we are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
Alright team, our new auto show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
expert advice,
The latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions.
it's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your automate.
This was one of the most magical, mystical performances we've seen.
This is like a shrine.
Coming and listening to you is like seeing a maestro perform at that shrine.
I think it was when Nayar sang himself for the longest Qawwali. Yes, that for me was special.
When the first claps came in, I think my only prayers was all of you should be healed. May God give you a lot of prosperity, health, love, long life.
I was mesmerized.
I think it is one of the most magical evenings that I've spent.
बहुत ही अच्छा.
Beautiful.
Oh my god,
about A.R. Rahman is unmatchable.
It connected me to some spirituality.
This is India for me. This is India. This India I grew up, and this India I'm seeing now. It will never change.
When you have somebody like an A.R. Rahman, legend, maestro, I don't know which word should we choose. It was just a treat.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Masterstroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Masterstroke Art Awards, an odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
Honoring the masters who define our creative landscape. Coming soon on the NDTV network.
Breaking news coming in, and controversial slogans directed at Prime Minister Modi echoed on the campus of Delhi's Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium. This happened on Monday after the Supreme Court denied bail to student activists Omar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam. The two men have been denied bail, and even though they have been in jail for the last 5 years without a trial, without facing a trial. Now we have Tejasri, my colleague, joining us from JNU, where those slogans were heard. First, let's listen in to the reactions coming about.
की निंदा कर रहा हूं, अगर इस देश में मानयोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट की बात के ऊपर भी प्रोटेस्ट होंगे तो फिर बचा क्या। इन लोगों को कोई देश से, कोई संविधान से, कोई कानून से मतलब नहीं है। ये अलगाववादी लोग हैं। ये केवल और केवल देश को तोड़ने वाली बातें करते हैं। देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी के खिलाफ अपशब्द बोलने, देश के गृह मंत्री के खिलाफ अपशब्द बोलने बड़े शर्मसार है। शब्दों की निंदा करता हूं, अगर इस देश में मानयोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट की बात के ऊपर शब्दों की निंदा करता हूं, अगर इस देश में मानयोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट की बात के ऊपर भी प्रोटेस्ट होंगे तो फिर
Tejasri joining us from JNU. Tejasri, take us to the demands of the students that are protesting. The slogans are being heard, including making references to coffins and including Prime Minister Modi's name in it.
Well, absolutely, quite a controversial slogans were raised yesterday in between 9:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Sabarmati hostel, at the Sabarmati Dhaba by the left students. And in fact, they were protesting against the Supreme Court verdict that was on Sharjul Imam and Umar Khalid. With that, rejected the bail plea of both the accused in the Delhi riots case. Also, I'm being joined by ABVP Secretary. First, we'll speak to him. Piyush, what do you have to say, first of all, in this entire case? The kind of slogans that were raised yesterday at Sabarmati hostel, what actually happened?
इसमें सबसे पहले तो जो माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट द्वारा जो दिल्ली दंगों के दोषी हैं शर्जील इमाम और उमर खालिद, उनके जो बेल अपील थे उनको खारिज कर दिया गया था। उसके बाद जो यहाँ पे वामपंथी संगठन है उन्होंने एक कॉल दिया था प्रोटेस्ट का, और वहाँ पे प्रोटेस्ट का साबरमती प्रीमाइसेस के पास, तो साबरमती हॉस्टल के पास उन्होंने नारे लगाए कि आरएसएस तेरी कब्र खुदेगी, एबीवीपी तेरी कब्र खुदेगी, मोदी शाह तेरी कब्र खुदेगी।
आप लोग आगे क्या करने वाले हैं? कंप्लेंट फाइल करेंगे? क्योंकि पुलिस का कहना है कि उन्हें जानकारी है कि इस तरह की घटना जेएनयू में हुई।
डेफिनेटली मैम, जैसा हम लोग जो है इस पे आप लोग ज़रूर एक्शन लेंगे, और इस पे इस तरह की हर एक एक्टिविटी।
We have breaking news coming in as far as the Deepam Rao is concerned, and here the court in which the court basically this is the court taking up that case, and the verdict that is expected anytime soon. But the case has turned political, is what the court has said, and the court is also adding that the district administration should not be acting to add fuel to the conflict. Do not fight for lighting of the lamp, is what the Madurai bench has gone on to say. Uma joining us. Uma, get us details of what's happening in court.
So the bench of Jayachandran and Ramakrishnan are reading out the verdict in this very, very critical case that's being watched not just in Tamil Nadu but across the country, because what the bench is now saying is that the verdict given by Justice Swaminathan on the 1st of December, saying that a lamp can be lit on the Deepa Thoon, which is the pillar on the Thiruparankundram hill itself. This bench is also saying that yes, the lamp can be lit, and that is something that is upholding the verdict that was given by the single judge bench of Mr. Justice Swaminathan itself. But yes, the riders that have been added are saying that this entire thing, in fact what we understand from our sources in the court is that the verdict reading itself started with saying that this entire issue has been politicized unnecessarily, and also finding fault with the district administration, putting the responsibility on them not to fuel tensions between the two groups, and also saying that there is no empirical evidence really to show that law and order issue will break out in case a lamp is lit on top of this pillar which is called the Deepa Thoon itself. The state government of course has been arguing, saying that this can create law and order issues, and the tradition has not been for lamp to be lit here. Instead it is at another site that the holy lamp, the sacred lamp, is in fact usually lit, and that's the reason why the state government had cited the concerns.
In the Madurai bench, they're upholding the order by Justice Swaminathan, and the banking basically the Deepam lighting, and the issue is politicized unnecessarily, is what the Madurai bench has gone ahead and said. So that is the Madurai bench there upholding Justice Swaminathan's order, and that basically the Madurai bench is backing the Deepam lighting. Uma, get us the details.
Yeah, so we are still to get all the final details of what the judgment itself has said, but the big picture is that the Madurai bench of the Madras High Court has in fact upheld the orders that were passed by the single judge, Mr. Swaminathan, Justice Swaminathan, who had said that the lamp can be lit, and he had in fact provided CISF security as well, but the state government and the temple authorities had opposed that. The police had also opposed that, but now the Madurai bench also upholding and saying that it is valid. But they've also added another rider saying that just for the sake of lighting of the lamp, there should not be fights on the issue of the of the lamp, the right to light the lamp itself. The larger issue I must also point out is about the ownership of the temple itself, and the court verdict in the Justice Swaminathan case also had depended on decades old kind of documents that existed from over 100 years ago, and they had said that the ownership of the hill itself belongs in fact to the Subramanya Swami temple. The Thiruparankundram hill belongs to this temple itself, and the Dargah is a limited area and it is at about a 50-meter distance from the pillar, and therefore they do not see any reason why there would be any trouble as well. But I must also point out that there is a urs that is happening at the Dargah today, and therefore the number of people who will be attending that particular urs at the Dargah, that has also been limited by the court in order to ensure that there is no trouble, and they have said that 50 people will be attending that Santanakudu urs that is happening at the Dargah itself, and therefore in a sense the court has tried to ensure that there will be no flashpoint between the two communities even as the lamp is lit at the Thiruparankundram.
No fuel that is being added to that fire, but lighting of the lamps will be allowed. We also have Veera with us, our colleague. Veera, a big win for the Hindu groups.
That's right. This would be a big win and a departure from the traditional lighting of the lamp at the Uchipilayar temple where it has been lit all along. So the question, as Uma was pointing out, is also about averting any kind of a situation there. Obviously, let's not forget that the Kartikai Deepam festival is over. So the real lighting of the lamp, the big festival, would happen next year. So for the moment, in many ways, what's happened with the case has averted any kind of a flashpoint this year. But yes, one would have to wait for the final details of the order. As per what we have, the High Court, the two-judge bench has disposed of the writ petition before it, the appeals that were filed of the single-judge bench order, and directs the lighting of the lamp on the hilltop pillar in addition to the traditional spot. The arguments that were made by the Tamil Nadu government and the HRNCE that the Deepa Thoon, or the traditional lighting of the pillar, was always done at that Uchipilayar temple and not at the hilltop at the pillar next to the Dargah, and there was not convincing evidence that the pillar on the hilltop next to the Dargah was the Deepa Thoon, seems to have not held a weight before the judges, who have directed that the lighting of the lamp will have to happen at the hilltop along with the traditional spot, upholding Justice Swaminathan's order.
So it's not just about, it's not just about religion in this case, isn't it, Veera? Because we are talking about a state that is going into elections. Like you pointed out, the time when the Kartikai Deepam is lit, that is already over. But yes, today's verdict is once again very, very significant, because like our colleague Sam Daniel, who is in fact at the court, is pointing out, the AISI has been directed to impose conditions to preserve the monuments and the protected site, and it is also very critically said that no public can be allowed to the hilltop pillar itself, which means they are averting any kind of a trouble. But tell us about the political significance of the court now saying that it is valid for the lamp to be lit not just at the Uchipilayar temple, which is the traditional site, but also at the Deepa Thoon.
That's right. Look, let's go beyond just
Sam Daniel, I understand, has joined us as well.
As well, Uma. This has got multiple connotations to it, because let's not forget that the Tamil Nadu, the DMK and other political parties had even moved a motion for impeachment against Justice Swaminathan based not on this order but by past events as well, but which was triggered by this order. So there were several connotations. As you point out, Sam Daniel, our colleague, also with us live right now, who has been covering this very, very closely. Sam, give us the details that you're picking up from the Madurai Bench's order as far as the challenge to Justice Swaminathan's order, which was filed before it goes ahead. Go ahead, Sam. What details can you share with us of the order that you have with you?
Well, Veera Raghav, the division bench of the Madras High Court has directed the temple authorities to light the Deepam on the hilltop pillar next to the Dargah. But it has not completely, in that sense, upheld the single judge order, because the earlier order allowed the petitioner and 10 other people to trek to the hilltop and light the Deepam. But in this case, the court has very clearly told that the public should not be allowed to the hilltop. Only the temple can light the Deepam. And the Archaeological Survey of India has been directed to protect the temple, Dargah and the monuments there, and to evolve conditions for the lighting of the lamp. And
in the form of observations, the court has also said that it's hard to believe that the police point out law and order concerns rather than using the series of peace meetings over the years between these two communities to narrow down the differences and to bring in communal amity. They say law and order is something not unmanageable, and in that sense, the court has now allowed lighting of the lamp on the hilltop pillar next to the Dargah, in addition to the traditional place near the Uchupallayar temple on another part of the hill where the lighting has been happening for more than a century. The court also points out that there is a particular reason
joining us as well of the BJP. Sir, your reaction to this verdict?
Yeah, the Dravida model DMK government has got exposed. The DMK's plan of creating communal division between Hindus and Muslims stands exposed. The court very clearly in its verdict has said this, and that the Chief Minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin, has to apologize to the majority people because the way they were abusing the Honorable Justice G.R. Swaminathan, now they should apologize to the people of Tamil Nadu and also to the Justice G.R. Swaminathan, abusing him right and left. All these DMK alliance parties, their chamchas, everyone, they have been abusing the judiciary also. So I think Chief Minister Mr. M.K. Stalin immediately has to apologize unconditionally, stating that he has hurt the sentiments and the faith of the Hindus. This is a big blow for the DMK.
All right, Narayan Tirupati, I know you're making a political point of it. Please stay on the line with us because I want to get further details from Sam Daniel on the order itself. Sam, one of the contentious questions that was raised before the court was whether the pillar on the top next to the Dargah was actually traditionally the Deepa Thoon. The government had argued that there was not enough substantial evidence to prove that that was the Deepa Thoon. Are there any portions of the order which reflect to that question? A. B. Also, while this may not uphold, as you rightly point out, Justice Swaminathan's order of allowing everyone to go up on top to light the lamp, and it's only allowing the temple authorities to light on it, it is in many ways a symbolic assertion and upholding of Justice Swaminathan's order that there is the right to light the lamp on the hilltop as well.
Largely, yes, Veeru Raghav. The court has not gone into the question of whether that particular pillar was meant to light the Deepam or not, but it has reiterated that the location where the pillar is belong to the temple, and it has taken the larger picture that traditionally the purpose of lighting a lamp on a hilltop is to allow devotees from all other places on the foothills and on other areas on the plains to be able to watch that and worship. And in that sense, they've said there's no reason why this should not be allowed. And they have taken the line of the need for communal amity. The court has also pointed out that earlier court orders have settled the fact that the Deepam can be lit anywhere beyond 15 meters from the Dargah to ensure the safety of the Dargah, and hence they find no reason why the Deepam cannot be lit on the hilltop in addition to the other traditional place where it's being done for over a century.
Right, you're making a very important point there. The court not going into that point but allowing the right to rebut. If Mr. Narayan Tirupati is still with us, Mr. Narayan Tirupati, if you're still with us, you have demanded an apology from the DMK, but beyond the politics of it, what do you really see the consequence of this order, given that Kartikai Deepam festival has passed and the next time you will actually have this issue come up will be next year?
No, see, we are not doing any politics, or we are not doing politics. It is the communal politics of the DMK. That is why we have been condemning the DMK, because see, it is not the political angle, Raghav. This is totally the DMK trying to woo the Muslim minority votes, and that is why we have been saying. So this will definitely have a very big impact. This judgment will go a very long way in the history of Tamil Nadu politics, because now people will understand that the DMK, the Dravida model DMK, has been doing this appeasement of minority votes. This is the problem. So definitely it will have an impact, and the court will decide whether to light it here today, tomorrow, or the next year.
All right, you're saying that this is a symbolic, decisive moment. Sam Daniel, very briefly, what do you pick up from the government itself? Because this is in many ways a blow to the government, which, had taken this issue up politically as well. Remember, the impeachment motion that was moved by the opposition parties in parliament may not have revolved around this judgment, but was triggered largely by this judgment. There was an enormous campaign against Justice Swaminathan, etc. What are you hearing from the government and from the HRNC department? Are they planning to challenge the two-judge bench order as well? Do you believe that the legal battle will be protracted, or do you believe that they will concede that perhaps they will have to abide by this order eventually?
I think in all possibility, Veeraraghav, the Tamil Nadu government and the temple in particular, which reiterates that the court cannot dictate the temple in terms of asking the temple to light a lamp in one particular location, since that has been the stand of the temple. Chances are the Tamil Nadu government, the temple management could actually challenge it in the Supreme Court, but we'll have to wait for a formal word from the additional Advocate General in the Madurai Bench of the Madras High Court. Secondly, it's also important to possibly look at the possibility of the contempt proceedings may have to be faced by the temple authorities, particularly the executive officer of the Thiruparankundram temple, the collector of Madurai, and the police commissioner in Madurai, because remember, they are facing contempt proceedings, and it's being put on hold only because the judgment by the division bench was expected. Now that in a sense the bench has largely upheld the single judge order, chances are they may have to face contempt proceedings, and they have also already moved the Supreme Court on that. But we'll have to wait and see. But certainly, it looks like the Tamil Nadu government may challenge, but we'll have to wait for a formal response.
It's a very important point that you mean there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sam. January 9th is when the contempt order hearing will come up before Justice Swaminathan. The hearing was deferred to the 9th of January, if I was not mistaken. And that would be a crucial question as well that will come up right now. Whether there was contempt of court by not following the single judge bench order at that point of time. There was no reference to that, obviously, in this case, because this did not pertain to that. But now that hearing would be the one that one would have to look out crucially. Before I go to Uma, just weigh in on this quickly, please.
Are you asking me, Veeraraghav?
Yes, Sam Daniel.
Yes, the contempt proceedings began on the day of Kartikai Deepam, that's on the 3rd of December, and the judge had then directed the temple authorities to first to light the lamp on the hilltop pillar. Since that did not happen, the same evening the judge had directed the petitioner to be escorted by CISF and to light the lamp himself along with 10 other people. In fact, I have with me an advocate representing the Dargah, if am I right?
No, we are for one of the petitioner, one of the appellant.
Ma'am, your name, full name?
Mine is Sini Sayadamma.
Ma'am, if you can give us the gist of the order, what would this mean for the temple, for the petitioner, and for the Tamil Nadu government?
And I just wanted to note what are the key points have been answered by the appellate court. The Devasthanam should go inside the lightning, in addition to the existing lightning, the place which is allotted for now the disputed phase factor, the lightning pillar, right? The Devasthanam only allowed to go on lightning at the celebration of lightning festival. and no public, no political party, not even either persons, not even more than 10 persons are allowed to lighting the set place. That was the one among the direction. And another direction, whatever the existing places like Dargah temple, and which is pertaining to the Dargah temple and other Samanar Jain architect, that shall be exist. Whatever the condition, it cannot be modified, or any changes, any altercation shall be made in so far. And yet another direction is for lighting the 50 meters kept away from the mosque, the Dargah, which is located. The whatever the lightning festival, other things shall keep distance exactly for 15 years. It shall be maintained. That is one among the directions. The
ASI has been directed to?
Yes, ASI has been directed to follow certain conditions regarding the monuments have been changed. What are all the laws has not been followed by either insofar that conditions, the ASI have a right to impose certain conditions, which conditions was not in the earlier writ petition order. It was the new fact disputed before the division bench.
What's your perspective? Has the division bench upheld Justice G.R. Swaminathan's order, or has it changed?
It must be changed, right? We cannot assume it is exactly followed, because whatever the direction granted by Justice G.R. Swaminathan to lightning the lightning place, who are all the persons wanted to go for lightning, they can demonstrate it. That was the direction, and continuous mandamus has been followed in so far. But the division bench has entirely restricted by saying only 10 persons has been lightning.
All right, Sam Daniel, just hold on the line. We have A. Saravanan of the DMK spokesperson joining us on the phone line. Saravanan, you're a seasoned lawyer yourself, an advocate. Tell us what you make of the Madurai Bench's order. Has it upheld Justice Swaminathan's order? Is it a blow to the Tamil Nadu government, or do you see a partial victory? A. Saravanan, DMK spokesperson on the phone line with us. Go ahead, Saravanan. What's your first reaction to the Madurai Bench's, the two-judge bench's order?
Yeah, see, it's disappointing. We have made it very, very clear that the stone which is near Dargah is not something where you can light Deepam. It is a survey stone. We have said this, we have proved this in the court, but in spite of that, the single judge's order has been affirmed. We will have to recollect what Mr. Amit Shah spoke about this Sabarimala verdict. When the Supreme Court passed a verdict stating that women should be allowed into Sabarimala, Mr. Amit Shah, the BJP, said we will not accept the Supreme Court judgment. Mr. Amit Shah said courts should not pass orders which are not implementable. So similarly in the Supreme Court in several cases, when it comes to religious issues, the court should loathe to interfere. This is the view of the Supreme Court. And this judgment is wrong. See, only because the judges can give erroneous judgments, we have this three-tier appeal system. And it is
Saravanan, so are you saying that the Tamil Nadu government will appeal against this judgment in the Supreme Court?
That's what the Tamil Nadu government will take a call. But that's what I'm saying. It is an appealable judgment. There is an appeal remedy which is available against this judgment. And most importantly, see, we should not play into the hands of communal forces. The earlier order, we all saw how the policemen were assaulted by people who were masquerading as devotees. And the BJP, they say the petition has been filed by a devotee of Lord Muruga. But who were all there? The BJP wanted to politicize. They wanted to fan communal hatred in the state of Tamil Nadu. And it was prevented by the DMK government. We, with the iron hand, we clamped upon the...
but that iron hand, Saravanan, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You're a seasoned advocate yourself. But that iron hand led to serious charges of contempt for both the government and the collector for not following the single judge bench's order. You are now today conceding that it's disappointing and that the High Court's two-judge bench has affirmed the single judge's order that there was the right to light the lamp on the hilltop. What do you believe are going to be the consequences as far as the contempt proceedings are concerned?
See, contempt, they will face it. Contempt, they will face whatever happens. and they will own up the actions. The government has taken a clear stand that law and order is very important, and the most important aspect is Tamil Nadu is a peaceful state where communal harmony prevails. No force on earth could prevent us from maintaining this communal harmony. BJP will not be allowed to fan communal hatred in the state of Tamil Nadu. The DMK government will go to any extent to ensure this.
All right, you are saying the DMK government will go to any extent. You concede that it's a disappointment for the DMK government. Would you believe that the issue has been averted for the moment and it will come up only again next year when the Kartikai Deepam festival comes up? Or do you believe that this will have immediate political and electoral consequences? Very briefly.
See, Raghav, in the state of Tamil Nadu, you are very well aware that people do not mix religion and politics. Whatever the BJP tries, whatever the BJP, even if it stands upside down, but they will not be able to do anything in the state of Tamil Nadu, especially in communal matters. Their USP, which is working in the North Indian states, will not work in the state of Tamil Nadu. And if they think they are going to be reap electoral dividends because of this, they will come as a cropper. It's not going to work.
All right. The DMK saying that it will go to any extent to defend, protect law and order. The BJP demanding an apology from MK Stalin for defying the single judge bench order. Obviously, the political connotations are huge of this judgment that's come from the two-judge bench of the Madras High Court. Uma Sudhir and Sam Daniel still with us. Uma, briefly weigh in on how you see this whole playing out. While the court has upheld that the lighting of the lamp will have to happen at the contentious Deepa Thoon on the top of the hill, it has also said that no public will be allowed, which is averting any kind of situation to evolve in Thiruparankundram.
What we need to note here, Veera, is that a very critical comment that has been made by the court as it is talking about restricting the number of people who are on the hilltop lighting the Deepa Thoon. One, it has said that it is ridiculous and hard to believe the fear of a mighty state that allowing a lamp to be lit at the stone pillar on a particular day in a year will cause disturbance to public peace. And critically, the next sentence, of course, it may happen only if such a disturbance is sponsored by the state itself. This is a comment that is part of the orders that have been read out by the court. And interestingly, even as the court is making a comment saying that the district administration of the state government should not, play any kind of a mischief here and that their fears are unfounded, it is also, remember that today is also the Santana Kudu Urusu that's happening in the Dargah itself, and the court has also ensured that there is no trouble by restricting the number of people who are coming to the Urs by saying that that will be limited to 50. They are not allowing any kind of an animal sacrifice to happen there in order not to hurt any sentiments as well. So while the Tamil Nadu government may go in appeal to the higher court, the politics of it is quite obvious, because for so many years, if the lighting of the lamp was not happening at the Deepa Thoon, even if Narayan Tirupati would like us to believe that there is no political angle to this entire
that's played out for many years. There's enough archaeological literature as well. Let me go across to Sam Daniel as well. Sam, like Uma was pointing out, no crowds to go up on top of the hill when eventually the lighting happen. It's not going to happen now because the festival is over, perhaps next year, and the temple authorities are allowed to light at the Deepa Thoon on the top. Obviously, the Tamil Nadu government saying that it's likely to challenge, at least the DMK spokesperson indicating that this is the appeal, the option of an appeal is open to the Tamil Nadu government, most likely will try and challenge it in the Supreme Court. Obviously, the BJP taking political capital on that issue, demanding an apology from the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister for defying the single judge bench orders. Tell us what you're picking up and give us a sense of the political fallout that you believe will happen overall from this issue, and also in Madurai and Thiruparankundram areas specifically, because you've covered these areas for many, many decades.
That's right, Veera. We should wait for the formal word from the Advocate General or from the Tamil Nadu government whether they are going in for an appeal. But there are indications that they are very likely. But of course, the lighting can take place only next year. So there is a year at least in terms of time for both parties to move the Supreme Court for more clarity and more remedy. And joining us again, Syed, thank you very much. In terms of the ownership of the pillar, the evidence in terms of whether it was used for lighting Deepam in the past, the court has not ventured into that area on which the government and the temple were arguing mostly in terms of no evidence.
Regarding the ownership of Dargah and the temple insofar as this division bench had made observation like they are following the earlier larger bench judgment based on Justice Nisha Banu, Justice Srimati, Justice Vijay Kumar's judgment has been followed. It was there in that judgment it was clearly mentioned the party should go and approach before the appropriate civil forum. So insofar as if
a setback for the temple, for the Tamil Nadu government?
Regarding
the court in a sense upholding lighting of lamp on the hilltop pillar.
No, I just wanted to answer it in a proper way because the Tamil Nadu government intention not to restrict any lighting at the existing place or at the new place. They just they had apprehension by creating a huge public and some political motivated persons and caused some disturbance in the particular area because on overnight it was created as a big issues, right? If we go into that such aspect, the division bench has made it clear that Devasthanam allowed to lighting at the set place. It is one of the vindictive for government, Tamil Nadu government, I think. I feel like that.
Lastly, the court had some strong words saying that the apprehension of a law and order problem is an imaginary ghost itself.
I'm not feel in that way, because though there was a 144 order, some political persons have went to the top of the hill and make some, we had seen come across so many social media comments, right? So it is not an imagination one, it might be the observation of the division bench judgment, might be division bench may not look into social...
You are the counsel for a petitioner. Is your client, petitioner, planning to challenge this?
Yes, of course. We are advised our client to challenge the exact observation and for even lighting at the new places also. We are advised our client to challenge this order as insofar. But either way, it is a kind of vindictive for the petitioner, I think, because the political motivated group are entirely restricted to lighting at the set place.
Very much, ma'am. Veera Raghav, that's the view from the counsel for a petitioner, but we are keenly awaiting what's the government's stand following this order. But indications are the temple and the Tamil Nadu government could appeal, but certainly it's bound to become a key poll issue as well in terms of the upcoming assembly elections in Tamil Nadu.
Look, there are two aspects to this, Sam. One is as far as the judgment itself is concerned. B, the optics of it that's played around outside. Remember, as I mentioned again, there was an impeachment motion that was moved by opposition parties, which was not necessarily revolving around this judgment by Justice Swaminathan, the single judge who ordered the lighting of the lamp, but was triggered definitely by this. So obviously multiple political connotations playing out of it. Very briefly, Sam, before I go to Uma, in a sense, this could be seen as a very big victory to the Hindu groups which had moved to demand that lighting be done at the hilltop. From that context, do you believe that this could potentially be, may not be an issue electorally in these coming elections, if at all, but overall a sense that could give an impetus to such groups to challenge certain status quo that have existed in the state and hence perhaps attempt to rewrite certain electoral narratives? Sam Daniel.
I think both sides will try to gain political capital out of this order, although largely it's being seen as upholding the single judge order. The Hindu outfits are going to go to the town saying the court has upheld and directed the temple to light the Deepam on the hilltop pillar in addition to the traditional Uchipalya temple spot where it's done for more than a century, and in that sense it's a big victory for them and they will use it to turn the heat against the ruling DMK, saying they are anti-Hindu. But the Tamil Nadu government, particularly the ruling DMK, will, one, could appeal. Number two, they're going to say, come on, it's not that the petitioner is has won the case because he cannot go to the hilltop to light the Deepam. It's only the temple that can do, and no public, no devotees can go to the hilltop. In that sense, they have largely ensured that there is no disturbance to the Dargah or any other law and order concerns, either on the foothills or on the hilltop. But politically, looking at the Muslim vote bank in that sense, to appease them in that sense, they may say we are still going to the Supreme Court to ensure that their point of view, their argument that there is no evidence that, number one, it's a pillar meant for the lighting of Deepam, nor there's evidence to suggest that this tradition was there in place before long time ago. On those lines, they may again tell them that the government or the temple will go to the court and turn it into a long-drawn legal battle. Of course, the next crucial development of lighting will happen only in the next Kartikai season. That's a year away from now.
All right, Kesavan, BJP's spokesperson from Tamil Nadu, C.R. Kesavan, also joins us on the phone line right now. C.R. Kesavan, I just spoke a short while ago to your colleague Narayan Tirupati, who demanded an apology from the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu for defying the single judge order. Sam Daniel there pointing out that while the court has allowed the lighting of the lamp at the Deepa Thoon on the top of the hill, it has not ruled or allowed for any crowd or the petitioner to go up. It's allowed the temple authorities to go and light that bit. What's your sense of the verdict? Do you see this as a partial victory or a complete victory?
Good afternoon, Veer Raghav, to you and your viewers. Satyameva Jayate, Vaimaye Vellum, truth always triumphs. This is a great victory for the faith and sentiments of Hindu devotees and also the Tamil people, and it's a massive defeat and a tight slap to the bigoted appeasement politics of the DMK government, which has been repeatedly hurting and insulting the sentiments and faith of Tamil people and Hindu devotees. The DMK government and through MK Stalin must immediately apologize to the Tamil people and crores of Hindu devotees for the manner in which they have continued to mock and insult their faith. And we are very happy, we welcome the verdict that the sacred Kartikai Deepam will be lit at the Deepa Thoon and will once again gloriously shine atop the Thiruparankundram hill. But what cannot be forgotten...
But let me point out to you,
double-faced, dangerous, divisive politics of the DMK stands exposed. And look at the manner in which they have brazenly defied court orders. Now, will the DMK, besides apologizing for having behaved, will the MPs who signed, the
hang on. I'll get to that point. You're making a vehement political attack, and I agree. Let me come to a core
issue. It was a
let me come to and ask you a core issue right now. Order. The two-judge bench has not allowed the petitioner to go up to light the lamp. In that sense, not allowing...
You're missing the point. Veera Raghav, the issue was not who lights the lamp. The issue is that the sacred lamp should be lit. That is the faith. It's not about, this who lights it, who becomes Deputy Chief Minister is the individual-centric politics of the DMK. Here it is a matter of faith, and we are happy that the Kartikai Deepam will be lit. That is what matters to the devotees and Tamil people. But the DMK has politicized this and dangerously played appeasement politics, and they will pay for it because the people will teach them a lesson. But the question is the manner in which they have defied court orders, and probably they will, in all possibility, appeal and try to defy this court order and not listen to this. And the question is, what about the MPs who, opposed this judgment? Because it was a question about the judgment. They opposed the judgment and they wanted the impeachment. Now, will all these MPs resign? Will they take
let me ask you two questions. Let me ask you two pointed questions. The defiance that you talk about the single judge bench order was about not allowing the petitioner or the crowds to go onto the hilltop. The two-judge bench has not allowed that as well. So point number A, and you can respond to this. Point number B, the DMK and opposition parties argue that the impeachment motion they moved is not to do with the Thiruparankundram order, but an overall historic thing for which they had filed a complaint before the CJI and the President of India even before the Thiruparankundram order. How do you...
Let me answer it point by point. First thing is, that is the spin of the DMK. It was not about who lights it. It was whether it will be lit at the Deepa Thoon. Please underline that. They were against the lamp being lit at the Deepa Thoon, and this verdict categorically says the lamp can be lit at the Deepa Thoon. And it was very clearly a witch hunt against an individual. And also it was, basically an assault on the faith, of the Hindu devotees when they oppose the verdict. It is not about, it is a witch hunt against an individual and the faith. And today, Veera Raghav, this is a slap on the face of the DMK government, and this defeat for the DMK government is the prelude for the massive drubbing and rout that Tamil Nadu people will give them in the upcoming elections.
All right, you made a strong political point there, C.R. Kesavan. Obviously, it is, in a sense, as the DMK spokesperson himself conceded a short while ago, a disappointing order for the DMK, one that, in a sense, allows, because the key question, as Kesavan was pointing out, was where the Deepa Thoon was, whether the one on top of the hilltop near the Dargah can be considered the Deepa Thoon or not. While the court has not gone exactly into those details from the order that we have at the moment, and Sam Daniel was reporting that a short while ago, allowing of the lighting of the lamp on the hilltop is considered a symbolic victory for those who have been demanding that. Though the court has not allowed the petitioner or public to go and do that, it's only allowed the temple authorities to do that. That's to avert any kind of situation there on the hilltop. But of course, the BJP making a very strong point there. The DMK, of course, perhaps indicating that this two-judge bench order is open to appeal and perhaps will move the higher court, which is the apex court, on this order as well. Sam Daniel and Uma Sudhir still with us. Uma, sorry, every time I've been trying to come across to you, we've been having some spokesperson or the other coming up on the phoner, and we had to go across to Sam as well, who got the advocates. Just complete your point that you were making earlier very briefly.
So it's like this. The BJP is certainly in the run-up to the elections going to be using this as an anti-Hindu stance of the DMK. So the BJP is going to use that plank that they are the ones, the Hindu groups are the ones who have tried to uphold the rights of the Hindus, not just to their religious practices, but also because every time an election comes up, we are talking about religious lands also as a very sensitive topic, whether it is minority lands or it is lands owned by the Hindu temples. That becomes a electorally very sensitive issue. So that is going to be something that the BJP will be talking about. The second point is this case has also obviously brought up the conflict between the executive and the judiciary, with the executive in a sense defying the judiciary and going ahead. And even now, the division bench has actually been critical of the Madurai district administration and that comment talking about, unless the state government itself provokes this kind of trouble, that's what the court has said. And that is something that the DMK should be mindful of. So while the ritual itself may only happen next year when Kartikai Deepam, Deepam festival comes up once again, the issue is very clear that there are going to be political implications because this is being seen as a landmark victory by the BJP and something that they will certainly showcase as because Dharmendra Pradhan and other spokespersons of the BJP are already talking about this as a victory of Dharma.
All right, you're saying that point very important there. Obviously, there will be political connotations. Sam Daniel, anything further that you've been able to pick up from the order? How long is the order? Let's stick to the core details that's come out of the court. Give us clear details of the order itself. How many pages? Because we've been discussing on the operative portions. Are there any interesting observations? Like Uma was pointing out, the court obviously not happy, not dismissing completely the law and order argument of the Tamil Nadu government, saying that the mighty state cannot say that lighting of a single lamp can result in a law and order problem. What further details can you give us from the order itself? Let's stick to the facts of the case at the moment.
Well, the facts of the case is the court has disposed the writ petition, a batch of appeals filed by the temple, the government, administration and several other individuals. It has directed the temple authorities to light the lamp on the pillar next to the Dargah on the hilltop and along with the other traditional spot near the Uchipalaya temple where the lighting has been taking place for more than a century. Unlike the single bench, a single judge order, the judges now have allowed only the temple to light the lamp on the hilltop, and neither the petitioner nor devotees nor public can go there. And the ASI has been instructed to preserve the temple, the dargah and the other monuments there. They've also to frame guidelines, and the district administration has to ensure safety. And in the form of observations, we should see whether it's part of the order. The court has said the apprehension expressed by the Madurai district administration of possible law and order concerns, they call it an imaginary ghost. And they say law and order is not something like an unmanageable task. And the district administration, the court has said, ought to have taken this as an opportunity to narrow down the gap between the two communities. They had 1 year series of peace meetings, but the court feels they had done nothing to narrow down the gap. The court has not gone into the question of whether there is evidence to prove that the pillar is meant for lighting Deepam, whether there is evidence that it was used to light Deepam in the past, but they've said it is in the territory of the temple and it is beyond that 15-meter gap where the lamp can be lit. And they have also expressed the purpose or the larger idea behind choosing a vantage point on a hilltop to light the lamp, particularly in temples, saying that that helps devotees from areas around the hill who are on the foothills and in other areas to be able to watch the lighting of the Deepam and worship. That's the larger purpose. And without going into the evidence whether it was a pillar meant for Deepam or whether the lighting of lamp took place earlier, they've said this convention, there is a reason for this kind of choosing of a vantage point, and in that sense the temple ought to light the lamp on top of the hill. Of course, the temple has been arguing that the court cannot dictate where it should light the lamp, saying that it has chosen the Uchuppalaya temple spot on the other part of the hill based on Agama rules. Veera Raghav. The big question, of course, would be whether the temple, the Tamil Nadu government and the district administration, would they now challenge it in the Supreme Court. But politically, it has given a kind of a talking point for the Hindu outfits in particular to turn the heat against the ruling DMK.
All right, Sam Daniel, I believe
anti-Hindu, and that the court.
I believe we have with us Tamilisai Soundararajan, former governor of Telangana, former president of the Tamil Nadu BJP as well, a senior BJP leader. Ma'am, your first reactions to the order. While it is Sam Daniel was just pointing out that while the court has allowed the lighting of the lamp at the pillar on top of the hill next to the dargah, which was sought by the original petitioner and allowed by the single judge bench, it's not allowed public or the petitioner to go up, but only the temple authorities to do so. Your first reactions?
So first of all, I'm happy about the judgment. And two things should be mentioned here. One, the Hindu sentiments has been respected, and the Deepa Thoon has been endorsed. It's Deepa Thoon because in between the government was confusing whether it is Samana Thoon or some other things. They were contradictorily mentioning about the Deepa Thoon. So the court has come out very clearly. The Deepa Thoon belongs to the temple, and Deepam can be light on that. One thing. Second, the government was doing politics in allowing the lighting of the lamp because they are of the biased activity. If they are really concerned about the law and order problem, they should not allow the Islamic celebration, which was carried very recently after the Thiruparankundram issue. So clearly they revealed their biased attitude against the Hindu religion. Third, they not only took it as a political reason, anti-Hindu sentiments, but they were blaming the judges. So the court has condemned the judges should not be criticized, and they have taken this to the national level so that impeachment action against the judge. So these all things very categorically, very clearly revealed by the court. And another thing I want to mention here, apart from the court verdict, the Hindus were blamed for creating law and order problem. The local public were very quietly agitating for that, where they were undergoing fast. So they were blaming the people for creating law and order problem, which was not true. All these has been very clearly mentioned by the court.
All right. You're saying that it's a victory for that demand that the lamp should have been lit at the Deepa Thoon that you're saying on the top of the hill, which the government had contended was not the original pillar or historic position for lighting. Obviously, multiple reactions coming up.
Is not separate people to go and light the lamp. When the temple authorities and the government is not allowing, then the individuals ask for the right.
All right.
Now
So
the court is allowed.
you're saying that it's a symbolically big win and upholding of the petitioner's demand that the lamp should be lit on top of the hill in the pillar next to the Dargah. Thanks very much, ma'am, for joining us here with your first reaction. Sam Daniel, I believe you have the petitioner with you there in Madurai. Go ahead.
That's right, Veera Raghav. I have the petitioner, Mr. Rama Ravi Kumar. Thank you very much for your time. How do you look at this division bench verdict?
நாங்கள் இந்த நீதிமன்ற தீர்ப்பை ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக மகிழ்ச்சியாக நாங்கள் ஏற்றுக்கிறோம். ஏற்கனவே சிங்கிள் ஜஸ்டிஸ் கொடுத்த அந்த உத்தரவை டிவிஷன் பெஞ்சில் இருக்கக்கூடிய இரு நபர் ஜஸ்டிஸ் வந்து அதை ஏற்றிருக்கிறாங்க. கார்த்திகை தீபமானது மலை உச்சியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த தீப தூண் அதில் வந்து ஏற்றணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க. அதை கோவில் நிர்வாகம் செய்யணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ இந்த தீர்ப்பை நாங்கள் மதிக்கிறோம்.
He says, I'm happy, I accept and respect the division bench's order since they have ordered lighting of the Kartikai Deepam on the pillar on the hilltop. Single judge order had said the petitioner, you can walk through the hilltop and light, but in this case, no public or you will be allowed, only the temple ought to be doing this. Isn't that a setback?
நோ, நாங்கள் இந்த ஃபஸ்ட்டு இந்த வழக்கில் சொல்லும்போது டெம்பிள் அத்தாரிட்டி தீபம் ஏற்றணும். அவங்க ஏற்றாத பட்சத்தில் டிவோட்டி ஆஃப் டெம்பிள் யார் வேணாலும் எனி பர்சன் எனி பிளேஸ் தீபம் ஏற்றலான்னு தான் அந்த பழைய 97 ஜட்ஜ்மெண்ட்டில் இருக்குது. அதை அடிப்படையாக வச்சு தான் நாங்கள் கேட்டோம். சிங்கிள் ஜஸ்டிஸ் வரும்போதை கூட நீங்கள் ஏற்றுன்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களான்னு சொன்னால் ஏற்றணுங்கிறது எங்களுக்கு வில்லிங். பட் கோவில் நிர்வாகம் அவங்க செய்யணும். செய்யலைன்னு சொன்னால் எங்களுக்கு பெர்மிஷன் வித் ப்ரொடெக்ஷன் நாங்கள் கேட்டோம் சிங்கிள் ஜஸ்டிஸ்ட்டை. அதனால் இது ஒன்றும் எங்களுக்கு செட்பேக்கெல்லாம் ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. இது வந்து உயரமாக தான் நாங்கள் பார்க்குறோம்.
He says this is not a setback. In fact, our original plea to the court was to direct the temple to light the lamp on the hilltop pillar themselves. Only when the temple had failed, the judge had asked us to go to the hilltop and light. Many accuse you that you are someone living not in Madurai. The local people, the devotees in Thiruparankundram live in amity, the Hindus and Muslims. But you represent some vested interest and you have filed this plea to create trouble to help a few political parties. How do you respond to that?
நான் வந்து திருப்பரங்குன்றத்தை சார்ந்த நான் உள்ளூர் நபர் கிடையாது. 45 கிலோமீட்டர் தள்ளி இருக்கக்கூடிய எழுமலைன்னு ஒரு ஊர், இதே மதுரை டிஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் தான். இந்த என்னை கிரிட்டிசைஸ் பண்ணக்கூடிய பர்சன்ஸ் வந்து முருகனுக்கு லோக்கல் ஆதார் கார்டு இருப்பாங்களான்னு கேட்பாங்க. நோ இஷ்யூ. இப்போ என்னை வந்து வெளியூர் நபர் அவர் வந்து ஏதோ ஒரு மத பதட்டத்தை உருவாக்குறதுக்கு முயற்சிச்சாருன்னு கேள்வி கேட்டாங்க. அவங்களுக்கு அந்த ரைட்ஸ் இருக்குது கேட்கறதுக்கு. நான் அதை ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியாக நான் அவங்க ரிசீவ் பண்ணிக்கிறேன். பட் மிஸ்டர் நவாஸ் கனி, இண்டி எம்பி, ராமநாதபுரம், அப்துல் சமத் எம்எல்ஏ, முஸ்லீம் லீக், அவங்களாம் லோக்கல் பர்சனா? திருப்பரங்குன்றத்தை சார்ந்தவங்களா? அவங்களாம் உள்ளூர்காரங்க கிடையாதே முத்தவரை, அவங்க உள்ளூர்காரங்க கிடையாதே. அப்படி இருக்கும்போது நம்ம எப்படி ஏற்றுக்க முடியும்?
He says, I may not live in Thiruparankundram, but I live 45 kilometers away in Madurai district in Elumalai. And those who make that criticism would even demand whether Lord Muruga has Aadhaar card. He's also taking up names of Abdul Nawaz Kani MP, who heads the Waqf board now. Whether what locus standi does he have to come here? Do you think the Tamil Nadu government will accept this or would they challenge?
தமிழ்நாடு அரசாங்கத்துக்கு நல்ல புத்தி சொல்லியிருக்கு அரசு நீதிமன்றம். அந்த விஷயம் அவங்க ஏற்றுப்பாங்க நான் நம்புகிறேன். நல்லவங்களுக்கு ஒரு சூடு. ஆனால் இந்த அரசாங்கம் ஏற்கனவே கொடுத்த உத்தரவை, அரசாங்கம் வேறு ஹெச்ஆர்என்சி வேறு, அப்படி இருக்கும் பட்சத்தில் இந்த கோர்ட்டு கொடுத்த உத்தரவை, நீதிமன்றம் கொடுத்த உத்தரவை கோயில் செய்யலை. இந்த வழக்குக்கு வாதிட்டாங்கல்ல, ஹெச்ஆர்என்சிக்கு ஆதரவா கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு ஆதரவா, கோவிலுடைய ஃபண்டை எடுத்து தான் அவங்களுக்கு ஃபீஸ் வாங்கியிருக்காங்க. அந்த அட்வொகேட்ஸ் மிஸ்டர் ஜோதி மற்றும் யாரெல்லாம் வாங்கியிருக்காங்க. எந்த ஊர்லேயும் இல்லாத அநியாயம் இது. செகண்ட் திங், கோவிலுக்கான உரிமையை நிலைநாட்டுறதுக்கு அவங்க வேலை செய்யலை. முஸ்லீம்களுக்கு பாதிச்சிடக்கூடாது, முஸ்லீம்களுக்கு சமூக நல்லிணக்க கம்யூனல் ஹார்மனி கெட்டுருன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. We are not against any other religion, any other persons. हम तो बाकी लोगों को विरोध नहीं है. Yes, நான் அவன் முஸ்லீமாக இருக்கட்டும், நான் ஹிந்துவாக இருக்கேன். குரான் அதான் சொல்லுது, லக்கும் தீனுக்கு வலிய தீன், அவரவர் மார்க்கம் அவருக்கு. எங்கள் மதம் இந்துவாக நாங்கள் இருக்கிறோம், முஸ்லீம் அவங்களுடைய உரிமை இருக்கட்டும், அவங்க கடமை செய்யட்டும். எங்கள் உரிமையை கடமையை செய்ய நீங்கள் எதிர்க்கிறது ஏன் தான் என்னுடைய கேள்வி.
Right. He says the court has given clear instructions and advice to the Tamil Nadu government, and he hopes that the Tamil Nadu government will abide by that. And he also refers to teachings in Quran, how despite differences, people have to live in amity. Lastly, for more than 100 years, they say the lighting has been happening near the Uchipaliyar temple. Why this one?
உச்சி பிள்ளையார் டெம்பிள்னு சொல்கிறாங்க இல்லையா, அங்கே பிள்ளையாரே கிடையாது. நீங்கள் புரிஞ்சுக்கணும், இந்த திருப்பரங்குன்றம் ஹில்லில் 9 சமித் இருக்கு.
They say according to the Agama rules they're doing it.
So no, Agama is not an issue. தீபம் ஏற்றுறதுக்கு எந்த ஆகமும் தேவையில்லை. இது இந்த ஆகமா, தீபம் என்பது ஏற்றுறதுக்கு ஆகம சாஸ்திரம் தேவையில்லை. இஷ்யூ ஆகமா கிடையாது. கோர்ட் சேஸ் 15 மீட்டர் தாண்டி நீங்கள் வந்து தீபம் ஏற்றலாம்.
Would this be used politically now? Elections are coming up.
புரியல,
இந்த ஆர்டரை வந்து அரசியலுக்கு பயன்படுத்துவாங்களா தேர்தலில்?
திமுக பயன்படுத்தும். ஏன்னா திமுக ஓட்டுக்காக தானே முஸ்லீமுக்கு சப்போர்ட்டா இருக்கு. ஒரு செக்குலர் கவர்மெண்ட் எப்படி ஒரு
petitioner there, Sam, I think the big takeaways are Sam Daniel speaking there to the original petitioner in the case who sparked this off, and the Justice Swaminathan order which allowed him to go on top of the hill along with a few people to light the lamp at the pillar next to the Dargah. Which has not been the traditional place where it's been lit. It's been lit at a Deepa Thoon or a pillar near the Uchipaliyar temple, which is midway, not on top of the hill. So that was the original petitioner Sam Daniel was talking about. Sam, look, let's put this whole thing into perspective. It's a huge win for the Hindu groups which demanded that the lighting of the lamp has to happen at the Deepa Thoon, which was ordered by Justice Swaminathan, but defied by the collector and the Tamil Nadu government, who are facing contempt proceedings before Justice Swaminathan and who challenged that in the apex court. It's a blow to them because the 2-judge bench has upheld that the temple authority should light the lamp on the hilltop at what has been contended to be the Deepa Thoon, which is near the Dargah. So in that sense, it's a blow to the Tamil Nadu government, which had defied the single judge bench order. But in other ways, they seem to have averted the issue for this year. It will come back up next year because the Kartikai Deepam festival, when the lighting of the lamp happens, will happen again next year. That's when we will see. It's likely that the Tamil Nadu government will move, or others, the temple, perhaps challenge this 2-judge bench order. When we come back, Sam Daniel will try and wrap up and sum up the order and the details that we have. We'll take a very short break, but for the moment, the political statements coming out of the order from the 2-judge bench of the Madras High Court, which has allowed the lighting of the lamp at the pillar, the contentious pillar in the hilltop, like it was ordered by Justice Swaminathan, but allowed it by temple authorities and not by the public in general. We'll take a very short break. When we come back, much more with Sam Daniel on that order.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad sahab, aise mat kijiye. Suddenly, people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do.
And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude.
We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship.
The line of control, Shiv Arun, NDTV.
Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Every winter, the World Economic Forum at Davos becomes the world's thinking room, where power, policy and purpose converge, where the future is examined and reimagined. In January 2026, NDTV will be at the heart of this conversation. NDTV Ignite at Davos, this January on the NDTV network.
Mumbai are bringing our first India tour in your city. Rag on with Shankar Ehsan Loy and Siddharth Mahadevan and Shivam Mahadevan. 5 times melody, 5 times masti with NDTV Good Times. Go grab your tickets on Live Your City by Fever.
It is Asia's richest civic body. 2026 begins with Big Bang BMC poll. High stakes Mumbai battle loading. Can BJP extend Maha winning streak? Existential fight for the Sena. Can the Congress strike a comeback? Maha civic body, massive implications. NDTV tracks the Maha build-up, battleground BMC.
Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Golf Pro-Am, we are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions,
expert advice, the latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your automate.
This was one of the most magical, mystical performances we've seen.
This is like a shrine.
Coming and listening to you is like seeing a maestro perform at that shrine.
I think it was when he had sang himself for the longest Qawwali. Yes, that for me was special.
first claps came, and I think my only prayers was all of you should be healed. May God give you a lot of prosperity, health, love, long life.
I was mesmerized.
I think it is one of the most magical evenings that I've spent.
बहुत ही अच्छा.
Beautiful.
Oh my God, Rahman is unmatchable.
It connected me to some spirituality.
This is India for me. This is India. This India I grew up, and this India I'm seeing now. It will never change.
When you have somebody like A.R. Rahman, legend, maestro, I don't know which word should we choose. It was just a treat.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. Stop. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Masterstroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Masterstroke Art Awards, an odyssey of creativity.
The Madurai High Court has upheld a single judge's order directing the lighting of the Deepam at the stone pillar atop Tamil Nadu. This is bringing a closure to a long-standing and contentious issue. The court observed that the district administration ought to have treated the issue as an opportunity to bridge the gap between the communities through mediation. It further held that since this is a hill that is a protected site, and any activity that's carried on top must strictly comply with the provisions of the Act. Clarifying that the lamp may be lit, the court noted that the public access to the ceremony will be restricted and will be subjected to consultation with the ASI. The bench said that the apprehension of law and order was an imaginary ghost created by state authorities for their convenience to put one community against the other under suspicion. With that, we're wrapping this edition. News and updates will continue on the other side with my colleague Vedika. Stay with us.
From the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
They are now India's smallest but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad साहब, ऐसे मत कीजिए. Suddenly, people are wondering about the weaponization of India-Pakistan cricket. We live and breathe elections. You will not believe your eyes or ears when I show you what I'm about to do.
And for a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude.
We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship.
The line of control, Shiv Arun, NDTV.
Across the country.
He has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else, only on NDTV network.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind. I pause. I reflect. I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Deepa Thoon.
I don't sugarcoat. I shoot straight and tell you stories the way they need to be told. Unfiltered, unafraid, unmissable. That's how I roll. Watch me, Priyanka Deo, on NDTV World. Namaste.
Every winter, the World Economic Forum at Davos becomes the world's thinking room, where power, policy and purpose converge, where the future is examined and reimagined. In January 2026, NDTV will be at the heart of this conversation. NDTV Ignite at Davos, this January on the NDTV network.
Mumbai are bringing our first India tour in your city. Rag on with Shankar Ehsaan Loy and Siddharth Mahadevan and Shivam Mahadevan. 5 times melody, 5 times masti with NDTV Good Times. Go grab your tickets on Live Your City by Fever.
It is Asia's richest civic body. 2026 begins with Big Bang BMC poll. High stakes Mumbai battle loading. Can BJP extend Maha winning streak? Existential fight for the Sena. Can the Congress strike a comeback? Maha civic body, massive implications. NDTV tracks the Maha build-up, battleground, BMC.
Are you ready for the best show in town? NDTV Golf Pro-Am, we are coming to your city. Stay tuned.
Alright team, our new order show is ready. Now we need a promo. Something cool, something sharp.
Well, I'm sure we'll be having outstanding reviews, solid suggestions.
Expert advice. The latest trends. It's a lot simpler. We'll help people make the right auto decisions. It's got the cool stuff, geeky stuff, serious stuff, all of it, so that you can discover, decide and drive. I'm Siddharth Sharma and I am your Automate.
This was one of the most magical, mystical performances we've seen.
This is like a shrine.
Coming and listening to you is like seeing a maestro perform at that shrine.
I think it was when Nayar sang himself for the longest Qawwali. Yes, that for me was special.
When the first claps came in, I think my only prayers was all of you should be healed. May God give you a lot of prosperity, health, love, long life.
I was mesmerized.
I think it is one of the most magical evenings that I've spent.
बहुत ही अच्छा.
Good afternoon, you're with Breaking Ground. I'm Vedika Sood. The Deepam verdict and its fallout remains our top focus. A quick check on the headlines at the top of 12 noon. Big win for Hindu group, setback for Stalin government. Madras High Court upholds Deepam verdict, says only temple can light lamp on ancient pillar, says issue is being politicized. DMK calls verdict disappointing. Left-wing student groups raise anti-Modi and anti-government slogans during a gathering at the JNU campus in Delhi after India's top court denied bail to Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam in the case. BJP calls it a shameless act. Home Minister Amit Shah readies BJP's battle plan. Inside scoop on BJP's strategy. BJP mulling TVK tie-up. Battle for BMC intensifies. Raj Thakre's close aide Santosh Dhuri meets Maharashtra Chief Minister. May join BJP. Thakre's aide upset with his seat going to Uddhav's Sena. 40-year-old Hindu man has been killed in Bangladesh in what is the second such incident in the last 24 hours in the country. Heavy gunfire reported near the presidential palace in Venezuela's Caracas after Maduro makes U.S. court appearance. Maduro's son breaks down, says history will tell who the traitors were. A top story, the Madurai High Court has upheld a single judge's order directing the lighting of the Kartikai Deepam at the stone pillar atop Tamil Nadu's Thiruparankundram in the city, bringing closure to a long-standing and contentious issue. The court observed that the district administration ought to have treated the issue as an opportunity to bridge the gap between the communities through mediation. It further held that since the hill is a protected site, any activity carried out atop must strictly comply with the provisions of the Act. Clarifying that the lamp may be lit, the court noted that public access to the ceremony will be restricted and will be subject to consultation with the Archaeological Survey of India, the ASI. The bench said that apprehension of law and order was an imaginary ghost created by state authorities for their convenience to put one community against the other under suspicion.
How do you look at this division bench verdict?
நாங்கள் இந்த நீதிமன்ற தீர்ப்பை ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக மகிழ்ச்சியாக நாங்கள் ஏற்றுக்கிறோம். ஏற்கனவே சிங்கிள் ஜஸ்டிஸ் கொடுத்த அந்த உத்தரவை டிவிஷன் பெஞ்சில் இருக்கக்கூடிய இருநபர் ஜஸ்டிஸ் வந்து அதை ஏற்றிருக்கிறாங்க. கார்த்திகை தீபமானது மலை உச்சியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த தீப தூண் அதில் வந்து ஏற்றணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க. அதை கோவில் நிர்வாகம் செய்யணும்னு சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ இந்த தீர்ப்பை நாங்கள் மதிக்கிறோம்.
He says, I'm happy, I accept and respect the division bench's order since they have ordered lighting of the Kartikai Deepam on the pillar on the hilltop. Single judge order had said the petitioner, you can walk through the hilltop and light, but in this case, no public or you will be allowed, only the temple ought to be doing this. Court, in a sense, upholding lighting of lamp on the hilltop pillar.
No, I just wanted to answer it in a proper way because the Tamil Nadu government intention not to restrict any lightning at the existing place or at the new place. They just they had apprehension by creating a huge public and some political motivated persons and cause some disturbance in the particular area because on overnight it was created as a big issues, right? if we go into that such aspect, the division bench has made it clear that Devasthanam allowed to lightning at the set place. It is one of the vindictive for government, Tamil Nadu government, I think. I feel like that.
Lastly, the court had some strong words saying that the apprehension of a law and order problem is an imaginary ghost itself.
I'm not feel in that way, because though there was a 144 order, some political persons have went to the top of the hill and make some, we had seen come across so many social media comments, right? So it is not an imagination one. It might be the observation of the division bench judgment. Might be division bench may not look into social.
You are the counsel for a petitioner. Is your client, petitioner, planning to challenge this?
Yes, of course. We are advised our client to challenge the exact observation and for even lightning at the new places also.
We have made it very, very clear that the stone which is near Dargah is not something where you can light Deepam. It is a survey stone. We have said this, we have proved this in the court, but in spite of that, the single judge's order has been affirmed. We'll have to recollect what Mr. Amit Shah spoke about this Sabarimala verdict. When the Supreme Court passed a verdict stating that women should be allowed into Sabarimala, Mr. Amit Shah, the BJP, said we will not accept the Supreme Court judgment. Mr. Amit Shah said courts should not pass orders which are not implementable. So similarly in the Supreme Court in several cases, when it comes to religious issues, the court should loathe to interfere. This is the view of the Supreme Court. And this judgment is wrong.
It is the communal politics of the DMK. That is why we have been condemning the DMK, because see, it is not the political angle, Raghav. This is totally the DMK trying to woo the Muslim minority votes. And that is why we have been saying. So this will definitely have a very big impact. This judgment will go a very long way in the history of Tamil Nadu politics, because now people will understand that the DMK, the Dravida model DMK, has been doing this appeasement of minority votes. This is the problem.
So first of all, I'm happy about the judgment. And two things should be mentioned here. One, the Hindu sentiment has been respected, and the Deepa Thoon has been endorsed. It's Deepa Thoon, because in between the government was confusing whether it is Samana Thoon or some other things. They were contradictorily mentioning about the Deepa Thoon. So the court has come out very clearly. The Deepa Thoon belongs to the temple, and Deepam can be light on that. One thing. Second, the government was doing politics in allowing the lighting of the lamp because they are of the biased activity. They are really concerned about the law and order problem. They should not allow the Islamic celebration which was carried very recently after the Thiruparankundram issue.
All right, we've got to the initial reactions from the various parties who are stakeholders when it comes to the Deepam verdict and their stand on it. Now, let's just take you through what the Madras High Court said. I'm going to give you excerpts, the most important ones from that order. What the court said is earlier court verdict is valid, referring to the one from last year. Case has turned political. This was obviously a comment also on the Stalin government. District admin should not act to fuel conflict. Very important point there, which we will discuss with Veera Raghav and with Sam Daniel in a moment from now. Do not fight for lighting of lamp. Another very important and strong observation made by the court there. Issue politicized unnecessarily. Another point by the Madras High Court. Hard to believe that Deepam lighting will disrupt public peace is something that the court has also said. Apprehension of public peace disturbance is imaginary is another very strong observation made. Practice of lighting Deepam on hilltop for all devotees to see, and temple Devasthanam must light lamp at Deepa Thoon is the other point. No public to accompany temple Devastham to light lamp. This is one of the most important points made there by the Madras High Court. I have with me Sam Daniel and Veera Raghav. I'm going to go to Sam first, who was inside court when these observations and the verdict was passed. Sam, let's just first take our viewers through some of the very scathing observations made against the Tamil Nadu government.
To begin with, the court has said the apprehension by the authorities of a possible law and order problem if this particular pillar was used to light a lamp on the hilltop next to a dargah. The court calls it an imaginary ghost, and that the administration has failed over time to reduce the gap between these two communities, although they had a series of peace meetings. Secondly, the court also has said that while it has not gone into the question of evidence whether the pillar itself was meant to light Deepam or whether there was a tradition of lighting of lamp on this pillar in the past, since over the last 100 years it's being done at the other location on the other part of the hill near the Uchipalayar temple. The court has said it's a simple knowledge that lighting the lamp on a hilltop at a vantage point helps devotees on the foothills and around the area to be able to clearly worship the lighting. Land the pillar belongs to the temple, and that previous orders have ruled that the lighting can take place anywhere beyond 15 meters of the dargah. And then in terms of the order, the court has clearly ruled that the temple authorities ought to light the lamp during Kartikai Deepam festival in addition to the traditional place where it is lit. And in this case, unlike the single judge order, the lighting ought to be done by the temple, and neither the petitioner nor public can be allowed to go there. The Archaeological Survey of India has been ordered to protect the monuments on top of the hill and to evolve guidelines in terms of the particular lighting of the lamp there. In terms of other points, the court says that it is it's very hard to believe that the fear of the mighty state that lighting of the lamp at the stone pillar near the top of the hill within its territory of Devasthanam land on a particular day in a year will cause disturbance to public peace. It may happen only if such disturbance is sponsored by the state itself. We pray no state should stoop to that level to achieve their political agenda, it says.
All right.
And in terms of
Sam, I'm going to come back to you in a moment
the
from
order
now.
also says...
Veera Raghav also with us. Veera, I want to understand from you the aspects to this order, of course. One is the order itself. The other is the optics of what really will be the fallout of this order, especially in a year when Tamil Nadu goes to polls.
Well, three very important aspects in my mind, Vedika. A, it is a huge blow to the DMK because what the two-judge bench of the Madras High Court has upheld is that the lighting of the lamp has to happen at the Deepa Thoon. Remember, the Tamil Nadu government's argument is that it was a survey pillar, not a Deepa Thoon that is at the hilltop, and that the lighting of the lamp will happen only at the traditional place where it has been happening historically, which is near what's known as the Uchipalayar temple, which is not at the top of the hill, but at a midway point. And they had cited literature as well to that aspect. But the fact that the two-judge bench has upheld that the lamp will be lit at the Deepa Thoon, which is at the hilltop, is a blow to the Tamil Nadu government and the DMK legally. Now, politically, when you come back, and that's the second aspect of it, is that this will be used by the BJP to gain political advantage.
Yes.
But most importantly, what you must understand, Vedika, is that the lighting of the lamp happens at Kartikai Deepam, which is a festival which has passed. So the next lighting of the lamp by the temple authorities will happen next year. So for the moment, one could assume that the DMK has averted any kind of a situation or an escalation during this festival period. And also the impression of minority appeasement versus being anti-Hindu. So the accusation made by the BJP, that could be part of the narrative. But the most important aspect is the fact that there was an impeachment motion, there were questions raised on Justice Swaminathan, etc., which was not related to this judgment, but one that was in terms of optics triggered by this judgment. So there will be questions raised given that the two-judge bench has upheld that order of lighting of the lamp at the Deepa Thoon on what the DMK's political blowback will be on this. Remember, it's most likely that the Tamil Nadu government, temple authorities are likely to challenge this order in the apex court. So the legal battle will play out. The political ramifications will be there, but it may not be an electoral issue in the coming assembly elections.
All right. Noted. I'm going to come back to you as well as Sam in a moment from now. I want our viewers to understand the big takeaways. Now, the big takeaways from this verdict, the first one being the court directs Deepam lighting on hilltop pillar, which is being seen as a big win for Hindu groups and a setback for the Stalin government. The Deepam lighting on hilltop along with traditional spot is another observation, which is a part of the verdict. ASI asked to preserve monument and protected site is the third takeaway. Also, pleas against Deepam lighting have been dismissed, but yes, there is legal recourse, which the DMK spokesperson also spoke to Veera about, that they could access. And the last bit being no crowd allowed near the pillar. Very important point there. Sam Daniel with me live as well as Veera. Sam, coming back to you now, I want to understand if you've heard from the Tamil Nadu government or the temple management on this verdict.
No quick formal response yet, but there are indications that the Tamil Nadu government, particularly the temple administration, may decide to move the Supreme Court challenging the order. The official order has just come now, and they're going to take time to read it fully to understand, and then they would brief the government, take instructions from them. There are indications of filing an appeal, but we will have to wait for a formal word. Generally, going by the arguments the temple administration had made to the court during the hearing by the division bench in this case, the temple argued that the court cannot direct the temple where it has to light a lamp, and that the temple Devasthanam board abides by the Agama rules. And only according to Agama rules, the lamp is being lit for over a century near the Uchipallayar temple on another part of the hill. So going by that, chances are the temple administration may go for an appeal, but we'll have to wait for a formal word yet.
All right, and Veera, I want to understand from you, this is not the end of the row, the controversy really. We don't know that there's a contempt hearing also coming up in the next few days on this issue, but understanding from you, Veera, this will not be the end of this controversy. You have the DMK coming out and saying this is a highly disappointing verdict. You have the BJP saying that this is on the slap on the face of the Tamil Nadu government. So clearly that face-off will continue, especially in a few days from now when that contempt hearing also comes up.
Well, no controversy ever ends, especially in election season. Erika, you are going to keep hearing about this. It will play out on the electoral fields as well. And as you rightly pointed out, remember, there is a contempt petition before the single judge bench and a challenge to that contempt proceedings before the single judge bench and a challenge of that contempt proceedings before the apex court as well. All of it was waiting for the two judge bench to dispose of the challenge by the Tamil Nadu government to the single judge bench order. Now, how the contempt proceedings play out will be very, very important to watch because the single judge bench's order was that the petitioner, along with a few people, be allowed to go and light the lamp. Whereas the two-judge bench has said that the Devasthanam or the temple authorities are allowed to light the lamp. The argument that's been made by the petitioner and the Hindu groups is that our petition and our plea to the court before the single-judge bench was that since the temple authorities were not doing it, you allow the petitioner to go ahead and do it. So our prime point was to establish that the lighting of the lamp can happen at the Deepa Thoon. So symbolically big victory for the petitioners at that time. Yes. But how this will play out before the contempt proceedings will be very interesting to watch. The question of dismissing the law and order argument of the Tamil Nadu government will also gain political traction and used in political discourse. But we'll have to wait and see what the next act in this, both from a legal point of view and a political point of view, is. Vedika.
Interesting to see all these developments. Veera and Sam, thanks for joining us live. In a year when Tamil Nadu goes to polls, this of course will be one of the contentious issues, and we will keep a track on the first reaction coming in from the Stalin government as well as the temple management. Thanks for joining me live on Breaking Ground. We have some breaking news coming in. All right, Bangladesh cricketer Mustafizur Rahman is unlikely to get any compensation after being released by KKR in IPL. Bangladesh pacer will perhaps not get any compensation is the breaking news that we're bringing to you. And this perhaps is on the instructions of the BCCI despite having no role in the circumstances that led to the termination of his contract. Mustafizur was bought by KKR, if you remember, for 9.2 crore rupees at the IPL auction following competitive bids from CSK and Delhi Capitals. The Indian board didn't specify the reasons for its decisions and merely stated that it was necessitated by, quote-unquote, the developments all around. Rika joining me live on that story. Rika, what details can you share with us? We're being told that it's highly unlikely that Rahman will receive any financial compensation despite this decision, of course, and obviously not being his.
Remember, the protests against Mustafizur Rahman's inclusion in IPL was about him being paid by an Indian franchise, paid that money of 9.2 crore rupees. That was primarily the protest against, and which was why he was dropped from the IPL. What we have also learned that he is not going to be paid by the IPL franchise because they are going to categorize this as force measure, and under the IPL contract there can be force measures through which contracts can be terminated. Mustafizur Rahman can challenge Kolkata Knight Riders, but that will have to be done in either in Indian court of law or in the court of arbitration of sport in Switzerland. So either way, we don't know whether Mustafizur will take that step to challenge Kolkata Knight Riders legally. For the moment, it doesn't seem that the Bangladesh pacer who was dropped from the IPL will get any of that contract money that he was promised by Kolkata Knight Rider through IPL auction.
Rika Roy, do stay with me while I recap for our viewers what they've just heard. It's highly unlikely that Rahman will get any financial compensation despite being bought by KKR for 9.2 crores. We all know that the strained ties between Bangladesh and India has led to his exit from IPL. Rika, also very quickly, you have Bangladesh saying that they want the fixtures to be moved out of India, which has put the ICC obviously to burn the midnight oil to get things back together. What's the latest you're hearing on that for now?
The tournament ICC T20 World Cup starts in India and Sri Lanka from 7th of February. That's a month away. So we are hoping in the next 48 to 72 hours, ICC will come out with a new schedule. This is a logistical nightmare for ICC because it isn't just the Bangladesh cricket team whose fixtures have to be moved. Along with that, 4 other teams their fixtures have to be moved around. There's a question of getting new bookings for them. But I would say the major loss will be incurred by the fans. Around 300 plus fans had booked their tickets to come to India to watch Bangladesh in action. We'll have to wait and see whether they can rebook themselves in Sri Lanka or not.
Rika Roy, thanks for joining me live on that breaking news. We're going to move on to another big story and controversy, and that is from the national capital, New Delhi. A political storm has erupted at Delhi's JNU after provocative anti-PM Modi slogans were allegedly raised on campus. The slogans were reportedly shouted during a protest at Sabarmati Hostel on the 5th of January, soon after the Supreme Court rejected the bail pleas of Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam in the 2020 Delhi riots conspiracy case. Sources say the protest was organized by the Jawaharlal Nehru University Students' Union, with students linked to left-leaning organizations present at the gathering. The controversy has drawn sharp political reactions. Delhi Minister Manjinder Singh Sirsa slammed the slogans, calling the abuse of Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, quote-unquote, a shameless act, and branding the protesters as Ugravadis. Meanwhile, the Congress has justified the slogans. Party leader Udit Raj said the protest reflects anger within JNU, calling the Supreme Court verdict unfortunate and alleging injustice against Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam.
शब्दों की निंदा करता हूं। अगर इस देश में मानयोग सुप्रीम कोर्ट की बात के ऊपर भी प्रोटेस्ट होंगे तो फिर बचा क्या? इन लोगों को कोई देश से, कोई संविधान से, कोई कानून से मतलब नहीं है। ये अलगाववादी लोग हैं। ये केवल और केवल देश को तोड़ने वाली बातें करते हैं। देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी के खिलाफ अपशब्द बोलने, देश के गृह मंत्री के खिलाफ अपशब्द बोलने बड़े शर्मसार है।
ये कुछ लोग हैं जो आतंकवादियों के समर्थन में, नक्सलवादियों के समर्थन में, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के खिलाफ और ये जो दंगाइयों के समर्थन में नारे लगाते हैं, लेकिन इनके नारों से अब कुछ होने वाला नहीं है। ये जहां नक्सली होते थे वहां नक्सली खत्म किए जा रहे हैं, जहां आतंकवादी होते थे वहां आतंकवादी खत्म किए जा रहे हैं, और जिन्होंने दिल्ली के खिलाफ साजिश रची ऐसे दंगाइयों को भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट सजा देने वाला है। और इसके साथ साथ ये जो सपोले हैं, अब इनका फन कुचला जा रहा है, इसलिए ये बिलबिला रहे हैं। सर, कोई एक्शन लेंगे क्या आप लोग, क्योंकि इस तरीके की नारेबाजी तो दिल्ली पुलिस देख रही है उसके ऊपर? बिल्कुल ठीक।
जैसे देश विरोधी मानसिकता वाले और सभी, चाहे आरजेडी हो, चाहे टीएमसी हो, चाहे वाम दल हो, ये टुकड़े टुकड़े गैंग का एक कैंप ऑफिस बन गया, कार्यालय बन गया। और भूले नहीं, ये भारत है, नरेंद्र मोदी का भारत है, 21वीं सदी का भारत है। विवेकानंद कह गए थे भगवा ही होगा, और ये नरेंद्र मोदी को और अमित शाह को कब्र खोदने वाले खुद कब्र में चले गए हैं।
Anybody has a right to protest against any court judgment. You're most welcome to do that. But I don't think use of words like qabr and all are acceptable. These are students. They have their right to protest. If they feel that whoever are the two people who have not been given bail, they should be getting bail. And large number of other people also feel the same. It's not a comment on whether they are innocent or not. But using this kind of language is particularly objectionable. In fact, Congress has always stood for the fact that in public discourse, we must temper our language.
दो चीजें जो बहुत ट्रबलिंग है, आखिर कितने बरस बिना ट्रायल के कोई जेल में रहे ताकि उसको इंड्योरेंस की इंतहा मानी जाए, इनकर्सरेशन की, ताकि उसको कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल प्रोटेक्शन एक्टिवेट हो सके। उनके लिए मैं समझता हूँ ये अद्भुत दो उदाहरण हैं। आगे इस पे फिर चर्चा होगी, क्योंकि ये यही विराम नहीं लेगा। व्यक्तिगत तौर पे तो मैं मुर्दाबाद के नारे का भी विरोधी हूं और कई दफा आपके समक्ष कह चुका हूं। इसलिए जाहिर तौर पर इस तरह के नारों की एक सभ्य लोकतंत्र में कोई जगह नहीं, लेकिन ये सेलेक्टिव आउटरीच क्या है?
And my colleague Tejshri brings you this report from the very area where the slogans were raised.
Well, I'm just reporting outside Sabarmati Dhaba, and this was the very location where the controversial slogans were raised, and it was in between 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. where the controversial slogans were raised. Remember that they were protesting against the Supreme Court verdict that was given yesterday afternoon by the Supreme Court. It was in fact the bail plea that was filed by Sharjeel Imam and Umar Khalid, which was rejected, and it was the very place, as you can see in the visuals, NDTV exclusively only channel reporting from ground to show you the exclusive pictures so as to what must have happened and transpired here. Remember that not for the first time that this entire area was epicenter for such kind of controversial slogans and the protests that took place, but earlier also there have been instances where such kind of protests were held, and now this matter has also in fact taken a political color where BJP has been slamming in fact the student groups, not just that but in fact also the Congress party for sheltering them and taking their sides. Needs to be seen that what happens next as far as the entire investigation is concerned. This is Tejshri for NDTV from inside the JNU campus.
And more news coming in on this story. Congress leader Udit Raj has justified the anti-Prime Minister Modi slogans. Udit Raj has said this is a way of expressing resentment. Listen in to what he has to say.
और
एक विरोध करने का तरीका है, एक पॉलिटिकल लैंग्वेज है, इसको लिटरल मतलब नहीं कहते हैं। और जेएनयू में काफ़ी इसका आक्रोश है। इनको हिंदू होने की वजह से, मुस्लिम होने की वजह से इस तरह से इनके साथ व्यवहार हो रहा है, तो अन्याय इनके साथ तो हुआ है और सुप्रीम कोर्ट का फैसला भी बड़ा अनफॉर्चुनेट रहा है।
And Tejshri joining me live on that breaking news. Tejshri, we have two voices, two versions on this coming out from the Congress party.
Well, absolutely. Let me tell you that I'm reporting just outside the campus of the Jawaharlal Nehru University where this entire incident took place, and as we reported just outside the Sabarmati Dhaba, in fact decoding so as to how this entire incident transpired. Remember that not for the first time, JNU has come to light as far as all the controversial statements or the sloganeerings are concerned. Remember that earlier also there have been instances where such kind of slogans were raised, and in fact there was a political war of words, and now the story is no longer just limited to the campus of JNU, because we have been seeing that the political reactions are also coming in. We just heard Congress leader Udit Raj, who in fact goes on to say that this is how they express themselves when it comes to protest or when their voices are suppressed, or this is what the Congress leaders say. But on the other hand, there is BJP who in fact is slamming the Congress party, and in fact for the kind of slogans that have been raising, that Congress party in fact should at least come forward and condemn for the kind of statements that they have been making. Now also let us talk about the investigation part, so as to what is happening as far as the investigation is concerned. First of all, we'll also show you the visuals of the JNU campus. Aman, show the visuals. These are the visuals of the JNU campus from the place where we are reporting right now, and in fact what we are also learning is that a team of Delhi police is also inside, and also I'm being joined by one of the ABVP student over here who in fact has just come to speak over here. What would you like to say as of now? Have you filed a complaint, and what the police is saying?
देखिए, जिस तरीके की गतिविधि रात को यहाँ पे जेएनयू वामपंथी छात्र संगठनों के द्वारा की गई है, उसको लेके हमने प्रशासन को, जो जेएनयू प्रशासन है, उसको अवगत करवाया है, और उसमें उन्होंने आगे जांच शुरू कर दी है। एक सर्कुलर भी आ चुका है।
शिकायत आपने की है अपनी?
जी जेएनयू प्रशासन को हम दे चुके हैं, और जेएनयू प्रशासन की तरफ से सर्कुलर भी आ चुका है।
पुलिस को आपने कोई शिकायत दी है इस पूरे मामले?
जो पुलिस को जो शिकायत की बात है वो जेएनयू प्रशासन आगे भेजेगा। जिस तरीके के मोमेंट यहाँ पे हुआ है, जो जेएनयू का प्रशासन देखता है, हम उसको अवगत कराने का काम करते हैं, और अगर जरूरत पड़ी तो अखिल भारतीय विद्यार्थी परिषद ऐसे नेशनल एलिमेंट के खिलाफ पुलिस भी जाने का काम।
All right, so they have approached the administration. As of now, needs to be seen that what happens next as far as this entire case is concerned. Back to you.
Tejshri, thanks for joining me live from inside the JNU campus. Tejshri will bring you all the updates you need on the story. Moving on, US President Donald Trump has sparked a political storm in India with remarks on New Delhi's Russian oil imports. Trump claimed India cut back on buying Russian oil to keep him happy, warning that tariffs could be raised very quickly if trade displeased Washington. Adding to the pressure, US Senator Lindsey Graham has claimed that India's envoy asked him to convey to Trump a request to ease tariffs, citing reduced Russian oil purchases. The opposition has gone on the offensive. Congress chief Mallikarjun Kharge says Trump's comments suggest Prime Minister Modi is under Trump's control, mocking the remarks with a sharp Mogambo is happy jibe. AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi has also joined in, questioning why, despite a quote-unquote 56-inch chest, Modi is being portrayed as trying to please Donald Trump, asking why Trump's happiness is coming at India's cost.
Modi अपने को इज्जत देता है और मेरी बात सुनता है, ये उन्होंने कहा। तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि मोदी जी उनके कंट्रोल में है, और वो एक बात कहा उन्होंने कुछ ये कि वो अच्छे हैं और हमको खुश रखना चाहते हैं। तो इसीलिए मुझे एक डायलॉग याद आती है कि कौन सा एक पिक्चर था, कर्म क्या कौन सा की, जिसमें बोला है मोगम्बो खुश है। मोदी जी उनके सामने क्यों अपना नाक घिसट रहे मुझे मालूम नहीं।
आज कोई मेरे को वीडियो भिजाए, ट्रम्प बोल रहा है, ट्रम्प बोल रहा है, अंग्रेजी में बोल रहा है, मोदी वांटेड टू मेक मी हैप्पी, दैट इज व्हाई ही एग्रीड टू मी। मोदी जी आपका तो 56 इंच का सीना है। ट्रम्प बोल रहा है मोदी मेरे को खुश करना चाहते थे, मोदी जी आप उसको खुश कर रहे हैं। हम बीजेपी वालों को बोलेंगे, अगर तुम में हिम्मत है तो ट्रम्प का नाम लेकर बोलो, हम उसकी बात को झूठ मानते हैं। ये हाल हो चुका है। अमेरिका का सदर मोदी बोले थे अब की बार ट्रम्प सरकार, उन्हें जब से आया तंग कर रहा।
देखिए, हिंदुस्तान की ताकत है, ज्यादा अमेरिका पर निर्भर होना हमारे लिए उचित नहीं होगी और ट्रम्प की दादागिरी के खिलाफ हमें लड़ना चाहिए। ट्रम्प अभी दादागिरी करना शुरू कर दिया है सारे दुनिया में। नहीं तो वेनेजुएला से प्रेसिडेंट को उठा के अगुवाई करके लेते, अपहरण करके लेके चले गए मतलब अमेरिका। तो ये तो एबडक्टर है, अपहरणकारी है ट्रम्प।
In news just coming in, we're going to get you more details on the Mustafazur Rahman dropping controversy fallout. Now what we're being told by sources is that Bangladesh will not play in India even with state security. The Bangladesh Cricket Board and ICC meeting on this matter will take place soon. Sources also telling NDTV that the Bangladesh Cricket Board is likely to stick to stand and likely to quote the government ban. All of this is a part of the fallout of the Rahman controversy. I have Saurabh joining me live on the story. Saurabh, Bangladesh hardening its stand on playing cricket with India.
Yes, and this is of course something along expected lines. Now, what the Bangladesh Cricket Board is telling the ICC or is going to tell the ICC is that they're going to rely on a government order that specifically bans them from traveling to India for the World Cup. And that's something that they're going to make it very clear to the ICC, the International Cricket Council, when they seek this transfer of venue or when they seek this transfer of venue. And of course, that is something that Rika also has been reporting on. Now, where does this come from? The Bangladesh side, of course, is reacting to what has happened in terms of Mustafizur Rahman's dropping after, outrage in India. But obviously, this is something that is now way beyond the teams. This is way beyond the cricket. This is now political maneuvering and political posturing by the Bangladesh side as well, when they have hardened their stand, and under no circumstances is the government in Bangladesh going to allow the team to travel to India, unless, of course, there is some sort of massive outreach or, some sort of massive thawing of the ice. But at this point, the Bangladesh government is very clear in its instructions to the Bangladesh Cricket Board that the team should not travel to India for the games.
All right, so the Bangladesh Cricket Board, they're hardening its stand. Thanks for joining me live, Saurabh. We, of course, will keep a track on all the developments on the big story here on NDTV 24/7 and on Breaking Ground. Moving on, a Hindu man working as a grocery store owner has allegedly been killed in Bangladesh in what is a second such incident in the last 24 hours in the country. Sarat Chakrabarti was reportedly attacked with sharp weapons in Narsingdi district at about 10 o'clock on Monday. He later died of his injuries. He succumbed to his injuries last night. Moni was a well-known grocery store owner in the area. Monday's killings marked the latest in a series of violent incidents against minorities in Bangladesh, especially Hindus, who constitute about 7% of the total population. Hours before he was killed, a 45-year-old factory owner was shot dead in the Jashore district. Rana Pratap, who was also the acting editor of a newspaper, was shot in the head by a group of men who also slit his throat. Local sources allege that he had multiple cases filed against him. On Saturday, a Hindu woman in another district was raped by two men who also demanded money from her. Meanwhile, a 40-year-old Hindu widow was gang raped by two men. NDTV spoke with the local residents and found out that the woman had been harassed by the two accused for the past 2 years since the death of her husband. On the 3rd of January, both accused barged into her house, raped her, chopped her hair, tied her to a tree and tortured her. She was rescued by local residents and taken to hospital. Both the accused have been arrested by the police.
समझता हूँ कि ये सारे विश्व के लिए और जिन सिद्धांतों को हम प्रिय मानते हैं, लोकतंत्र, धार्मिक स्वतंत्रता, बोलने की आज़ादी, इन सब के लिए भी सबको एक चुनौती है। अभी जब दीपू की हत्या हुई थी तो आरोप था कि उसने इस्लाम की तौहीन की है। मैं प्रतीक्षा कर रहा हूं कि भारत के मुसलमान इस पर प्रतिक्रिया देंगे। मुस्लिम संगठन जो धार्मिक आजादी की बात करते हैं, धर्मों की बराबरी की बात भारत में करते हैं, वो बांग्लादेश के बारे में भी करेंगे। बांग्लादेश में जब भी चुनाव नजदीक आते हैं तब ये घटनाएं होती हैं।
18 दिन के अंदर 6 हिंदुओं की नृशंस हत्या कर दी गई। और जो इस्लामिक जिहादी जानवर हैं, किस तरह से जानवरों को भी शर्मसार करके इस तरह की अमानवीय कुकृत्य कर रहे हैं, वो बेहद गंभीर है। अभी देखिए कि किस तरह से कल भी एक व्यापारी की भी नृशंस हत्या कर दी। 40-50 वर्ष की अधेड़ उम्र की महिला जो कि विधवा थी, अपने घर में थी, जिहादियों ने घर में घुस करके न सिर्फ उसके साथ गैंगरेप किया बल्कि उसको जला के मार भी दिया। इस तरह की अनंत हत्याओं का सिलसिला लगातार जारी है।
This is a very unfortunate development coming in from Bangladesh. Over the last few weeks, 5 to 6 such incidents have taken place where minority Hindus have been attacked, lynched and killed. The latest coming in from Narsingdi area where Moni Chakravarti, who was a grocery shop owner in Bangladesh, was killed at around 10 p.m. last night. So there's confirmation coming in from the Bangladeshi media as well that there were some people who appeared suddenly and started shooting at him. Before that, at around 5 to 6 p.m. yesterday evening in Jashore area of Bangladesh, a Hindu journalist cum businessman was also killed. Rana Pratap Bairagi was son of a teacher, Tushar Kanti Bairagi, and he was also at his ice factory when suddenly he was called by some miscreants who came, a group of miscreants who came of multiple bikes and suddenly started shooting him. He was shot in the head. He was rushed to the hospital, but Rana Pratap Bairagi, another Hindu minority journalist and businessman, was also killed. So in less than 24 hours, in fact, in a span of less than 6 hours, 2 Hindu minority people have been killed. This shows that the lawlessness in the Yunus regime is only increasing, and the Yunus government is not taking any corrective steps against such Islamist radicals and forces to convey a strong message. Before that, we had a woman, a Hindu minority woman also, who was raped and tortured on Saturday night. So multiple such cases coming in, the Hindu minority protesting and certainly not feeling safe in this Bangladesh.
More news coming in. There is no censor clearance certificate yet for actor Vijay's movie Jananayagan, and the producers, we're being told, have taken this up, and the case will be coming up in the Madras High Court at about 2:15 p.m. We have Uma Sudhir joining us live. Uma, days really running out ahead of the release of the movie. We believe that this is going to be coming up in the Madras High Court in just about less than 2 hours from now.
Yes, indeed. The Jananayagan movie, which of course is actor Vijay's last movie, we are told before he enters electoral politics in that sense, that is set for release on the 9th of December. And obviously there are huge expectations and political messaging that is running, that is being spoken about as part of the film's messaging. And yes, they have not got the theatrical release certificate yet. Yeah, what we understand is that the CBFC has already seen the film and it suggested certain cuts and also suggested muting of certain dialogues, and we are told that the producers have already done all that, but the theatre release certificate is yet pending. And what that means is that advance bookings cannot legally be done in Tamil Nadu till such time that that certificate does not reach the producers, and that's the reason why they are now approaching the Madras High Court. And I'm told that it is going to come up for hearing at 2:15 p.m. Of course, the spokesperson of the TVK have said that they believe that there is a deliberate stalling that is happening. As you know, there is another film that is also expected to be, politically pitched against Jananayagam, which is Parashakti, which is also set for release on the 10th of December. And the run-up to it also having a lot of drama is what I must say.
All right, high drama playing out and may continue to play out over the next few days. Uma Sudhir, thanks for joining me live on that breaking news.
1 December 2023 से 1 December 2023 तक 2 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 December 2023 से 1 December 2023 तक
So let me do a short break. I return with news, which is the top international news at this hour from Venezuela. In moments from now, stay tuned.
Pulling us into this country.
They argue, I conclude. They deflect, I drill down. This isn't a free-for-all. It's a reckoning. No filler, no fog. Only the facts and where they lead. Every night at 9, the case closes because the buck stops here.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindoor.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
A very special moment for us as we announce NDTV Masterstroke, the NDTV Art Awards.
NDTV presents the Masterstroke Art Awards, an odyssey of creative brilliance where the masterpiece meets its ultimate recognition.
NDTV bringing this subject forward would have a great integrity of putting it forward where people could understand the importance of art.
This award that is being started, I'm sure is going to be amazing.
Art for India and for Indians is an expression of our Atmanirbharta.
It's actually quite a formidable jury, so I think we'll reveal a lot more as we go along.
This is an amazing platform, I think, today what you're doing.
Honoring the masters who define our creative landscape. Coming soon on the NDTV network.
From the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
21 days in Kashmir. People have bombarded me, friends, with requests for an unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground. Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling. They're now India's smallest, but possibly the most powerful crime family. Cough syrup has killed at least 25 children. Gaikwad साहब ऐसे मत कीजिए